Hello and welcome to the walkthrough of our feudal manor. For a couple of weeks, we've been working on a feudal manor village. Our village is located in Germany between 1215 AD and 1400 AD. As you can see, we represent our village in the summer. The first thing we're going to show you is the castle.
The castle was where the lords lived. The king also lived in the castle, which was bigger, but the king lived in the middle of the country and not in every town. As you can see, before you enter the castle, there is a wall and there are towers. These walls and towers were built because the lords needed to be protected from the outlaw. The moat around the castle was also there for protection. In these towers there were standing knights who protected the lord. The lord needed to be protected because they were very important in the feudal system. They were one row below the king. Being a lord was a very respectful title, because they were those who leased land or other properties to individuals. Even though they were below the king, they were able to make decisions and they had power over others. When you enter the castle, you see that the inside of the castle is very luxurious. The castle's interior is obviously a lot more luxurious than the house of a peasant. The roof floor is covered by a red carpet. Over the whole castle there were hanging big curtains which were made of very expensive fabric, and there were hanging chandeliers. This is the throne room, and as you can see, in the middle there's a throne. This is of course the throne of the lord. When you enter the dining room, you see a very big table with a lot of chairs and food. Very often there would hang a lot of paintings on the wall.
The table needed to be very big and there had to be a lot of chairs because sometimes there was a party or there came by visitors. When you enter the bedroom, you see an enormous bed. The bed needed to be comfortable for the king, which is why it was that big. You also see a fireplace and a lot of decoration. The bedroom was decorated very beautiful because this was the lord's personal room. On the opposite side of the dining room, there would be the kitchen. In the kitchen, there was also a dungeon. The dungeon was for the prisoners. In the rest of the kitchen, there would be fireplaces and ovens to cook the food for the lord. As you can see, there were also some chests with lots of food inside of it. You may have noticed that the castle was very beautiful and luxurious. This is because it had to be possible to see that the lord was very rich. It There had to be a big difference between the life of a peasant and the life of a lord.
Most of the people who worked on a manor were peasants. Those peasants were serfs of the lord. They had to work on the land and most of the time they farmed. These peasants were not slaves, but they were not free. The peasants could not go to any place where they wanted to go, and they had to work for the lord. From this aspect, they looked like slaves, but they did get something in return for the work they did. They did not get much, and it was barely enough to survive. There was only one lord per manor. This person ruled the manor, but was not always the boss of the land. Sometimes there was a king, and the manor was part of the country. The wife of the lord did the household of the house or castle of the lord. This was because the wife was from a noble family. She also learned other things like Latin, her own language, music, and astronomy and herbal remedies. There were also knights. These knights protected the whole manor and made sure there was peace in the manor. They were just like the modern day's police. They sometimes had to serve the king because there was war, and that was more important than protecting the manor. The manor system was that the peasants had to pay the knights. These peasants would be the poorest of the whole society, but they had to do the most, and they also had the biggest number of people. The knights would earn a lot from all the peasants, but they had to pay the nobles, and they would earn just a little more than they already had. The nobles had to pay the king. The nobles would earn a lot, but the king would earn the most. The king and the nobles were very rich and wealthy. They did not have to do a lot for their money. The manor system was also a way the nobles organized their land. The feudal system is focused on the serfs and what everyone has to give and what they get. The manor system is more an economic system. The feudal system was that the king gave land to the nobles gave land to the knights, and the knights gave protection to the peasants. The peasants would give food to the knights would give protection and military service to the nobles, and the noble would give knights to the king. So, in this system, everyone gets something and got something, and gives something. So, everyone would survive and everyone helps each other. Every town had a bakery. This baker would make bread and give it to the peasants, and he would also give the knights. He would make food also for the king, so everyone was provided with food. The blacksmith made weapons and armory. This was mostly for knights. They would have the money to pay, just like the nobles and kings. The blacksmith would make weapons like swords or bows. They would also make arrows, shields, and armor. The peasants farmed. They would mostly farm pumpkins, wheat, and beetroots. This would be eaten by the peasants, knights, and king. They would mostly eat this. In the medieval time, they mostly eat stews from beets. They also eat a lot of meat and pork.
The houses of our peasants were often made of wood and hay. This was because they were simple and strong materials. The only danger of the combination of hay and wood is that it could start a fire easily. So storm and lightning was very dangerous. The people in the town believed that God would protect them from the lightning, and that his anger wasn't at them. Their houses are small and there isn't a lot of furniture. The dwellings included a place where they made their food and multiple beds. Because multiple people lived in one dwelling, often families who had many children. Sometimes animals lived in the dwellings too, but that wasn't always. Peasants' daily life was really tough. Men worked long, physical draining days. During the harvest season, work days could last 17 to 18 hours a day. Women weren't spared from hard labor either. They often worked alongside their husbands, planting and harvesting in the field. Women cleaned out the stables, milked the cows, and fed and cared for their livestock. They also took care for the children, mending clothes, tending the garden, and washing the laundry. The children would have the same faith as their parents. If your mother or father, or both, were working for the bakery, you would work there as well. The two oldest of the family would go work there. The rest of the children would have the same fate of any normal peasant. Long days of work. The clothing of the peasant depends on their work. If you were a normal male peasant who worked on the land, your clothing would be very simple. You would wear a tunic and sometimes a hose. Women would wear a gown, with often a veil and a wig. If you were a baker or a blacksmith, you would wear clothes that suit your work. Religion is very important for our village. The lord of the land and his family are Christian. The lord's family had power over the land for a long time. This is because the lord's family is very loyal to the king and the previous kings of Germany. From the beginning of the existence of this village, Christianity has been the main religion of the village. Christianity was also the religion of the king's family, so the whole land practiced Christianity. Like I already said, Christianity is very important in this village. Our village was originally built in the shape of a cross.
Church and religion played a big role in medieval society. Christianity controlled most of society and their thoughts. The church was also very wealthy at the time and had a lot of power. The reason for this was that everyone that was part of the church, which was all of society, had to pay 10% of their earnings to the church. The church did not only gain its power by wealth, but also by number, since all of society was Christian. Our church was built in the center of our town, so everyone could access the church easily. Also, the church was built on a hill to show its state and to show that the church was more important than anyone else. Our church is shaped like a cross, because most of medieval churches were shaped this way. Churches were designed in this way to show that the church worshipped Christianity, since a cross is a symbol for Christianity. Our church was built using mostly stone, which was a material most churches in medieval society also used. Furthermore, different materials like glass were also used for decoration. There's a graveyard located in front of the church because it was believed that people would only go to heaven if they were buried near the church. The inside of the church is also decorated with many paintings to attribute Jesus. Because of the church's wealth, the church could afford paintings and decoration. It was believed that the prettier the church looked, the more satisfied God would be and the better lives the people lived.
This was the walkthrough of our Minecraft feudal manor village. We hope you enjoyed and thank you for watching.